our respondents thought was 84% consider insurance fraud to be a crime. And then what we did is we broke this down by age group. So we're going to go with our first and our oddest age here of 65 plus, the most honest generation. 96% considered insurance fraud to be a crime. 55 to 64%, 55 to 64 ages, 95%. 45 to 54, we see a little bit of a drop off here to 88%. Now this is where you're going to see it change big time. 35 to 44, 75%. That's a 13-point drop between those two age groups. And then it just gets lower as we go. So 25 to 34, 74%. And then the age group of 18 to 24 at 65. So Tom, when I was analyzing this, it was eye-opening. So what were your first thoughts when you saw this?
So my first thought was that 18 to 24 age bracket at 65% only believe insurance fraud is a crime. That was pretty shocking to me. And then when you look at the younger Americans from 18 up until 44, that's a 71% people think that insurance fraud is a crime, whereas 45 and above, 93% of those people consider insurance fraud a crime. That's a 22% gap between the two age brackets. And to put it into perspective, 35 million people, 18 to 44, don't believe insurance fraud is a crime. I find that to be very disturbing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What factors do you think contribute to the higher tolerance for insurance fraud among these young Americans?
I think some of the factors is that younger Americans have a higher tolerance towards nonviolent crimes. So they view insurance fraud as a nonviolent, which of course is a nonviolent crime, but they view it as not an important crime. Older generations had zero tolerance for any type of crime, whether it was stealing from a bank, an insurance company, a convenience store, a gas station. There was zero tolerance. And an example of that is shoplifting. 20 years ago, people did not tolerate shoplifting. You couldn't go in the store and steal a piece of candy, without being arrested and prosecuted. Today, you can go into a store and steal anything and shoplift, and people aren't as tolerant or more tolerant towards that now. And I believe part of it is the lack of consequences and punishment makes it appear more acceptable, and that's the same with insurance fraud.